Brr, it's cold outside in Chicago.
Welcome to our winter break mini episode series.
We're hibernating so we can come back fresh and freaky just in time for Valentine's Day.
During our break, we don't want to leave you hanging, so each week in January and the first week of February, we'll be releasing 10-minute tip episodes from your favorite unfiltered Dr. Besties.
Don't worry, we'll be back with our full-length content for a spicy episode returning for you all on February 12th, so make sure you're on the lookout for that.
Enjoy, Pelvic Freaks!
You're listening to The Pelvic Freak Show
with your hosts, Amanda Neary and Hannah Meyer. Hey, Pelvic Freaks, welcome to the second mini-sode of our winter break series.
Where you're freaks for us and we're still freaks for your pelvis, baby.
What are we talking about today, Hannah?
Today for our quick tips from your hot Dr. Bestie pelvic floor PTs, we're talking about the top 5 ways that you can relax your pelvic floor.
Ooh, and why are we talking about it?
So if you are online in the online world, guys, social media talks a lot about how to strengthen your pelvic floor. You're going to scroll past a Pilates instructor. She's going to be like, do these 3 exercises to make sure you have a strong pelvic floor. You're going to scroll past another girl that's like, stop and take a break. Let's do our Kegels. We're here to break that. We're about to bust that myth for you. Because I'm telling you guys, there is no such thing as a strong pelvic floor unless you have a relaxed pelvic floor.
I love that. We've talked about, the bicep analogy. You can't strengthen a half-shortened muscle effectively, right? So if your pelvic floor is tight, you're not really getting that full contraction when you do want to go strengthen it. So we need it to be relaxed, guys. When we're evaling people in the clinic, we are seeing tighter and tighter pelvic floors, even if there is weakness. And we need to work on that tension before we can build up that strength.
Odds are if you are having some type of pelvic floor dysfunction, whether it's urinary issues, bowel issues, pain, anything, 9 times out of 10, I'm telling you guys, a lot of times it is a tight pelvic floor causing the issues. Yes, your pelvic floor could be weak. Most likely your pelvic floor is weak because it's tight. Mm-hmm. It's not always the case, but think about a day in the life for your average person. We're all stressed. We're all going to work. We're all being overproductive. We're not taking breaks. We're not relaxing.
Yeah.
We could complain, but this is a mini-sode. So let's talk about ways that you can relax your pelvic floor that are honestly easier than you think, okay? And these are quick tips that you can try to implement, but if you find it really, really difficult to actually know what it feels like to relax your pelvic floor, make an appointment with a pelvic floor PT and we've got you.
Yeah, but your first quick tip is implementing your diaphragmatic breathing, which you've heard us talk about before.
How do you diaphragmatic breathe?
I like to teach it with one hand on the chest, one on the belly. So you can do that right now if you're listening and you're not driving. And I like it laying on your back at first if someone's doing it for the first time because they're really taking all of the muscle work out of it. And basically when you inhale, you want to do it in a way where your belly is rising up and your chest really isn't moving that much. So the air is moving lower. You're not pushing your belly out. You're letting the air draw in lower. So I like the beach ball analogy, like picture a deflated beach ball in your belly and let it inflate with your air. So you're not forcing it to inflate. You're just allowing it to draw in. And this will automatically relax your pelvic floor.
Yeah. If you are listening and you're like, Hannah and Amanda, I do belly breathing and I don't feel it. What do you mean? A cue that I learned from a doula, which has actually been helpful for me. If you've ever been in a lake, like floating in a lake or an ocean or whatever, and you've had to pee really bad and you have to instinctively think, okay, let me pee right now. Think of yourself floating in that lake and relaxing your pelvic floor to just pee in the lake. I kind of think of that when I inhale and it gives me the sensation of, oh, I'm relaxing my pelvic floor. Mm-hmm. So that's a good tip to add into your diaphragmatic breathing.
Love it.
Number 2 tip is generate some type of stretching routine, whether it's your own top 3 stretches, which will give you 3 stretches to go and do right now, or putting yoga into your routine. A hot yin yoga is what I prefer, where you're just chilling and stretching the entire class and working on your breathing.
People say stretching is not necessary, and that's true for certain things, but there are positions that are more optimal for lengthening the pelvic floor. So if you apply diaphragmatic breathing to a stretched position, you might get a greater benefit from that breathing exercise. One of my favorites is butterfly because the adductors are tight on almost everyone and they're the friend of the pelvic floor. So you get in that butterfly position, you add some diaphragmatic breathing, and you're getting a nice pelvic floor stretch. What's one of yours?
My top one is probably going to be figure 4 stretch. I was going to say happy baby, which is also a great one. I love a figure 4 stretch. I feel like piriformis tightness is a big contributor to pelvic floor tightness. So laying on your back, figure 4 or pigeon pose, if you're a little bit more flexible, is a perfect pelvic floor stretch. Let's do one more.
I love child's pose.
Child's pose.
I love all the variations, the lateral bending. And I like it because it's a position where you're creating pressure. Same with figure 4, where people are kind of like, how do I breathe diaphragmatically here? And this is a good opportunity for them to breathe into their low back because that's still a diaphragmatic breath. But a lot of people don't think about like 360 breathing. So I like giving them the cue of like, try to send your air towards your tailbone. And then they're still getting that breath.
I like child's pose too because I feel like facing down, you let your belly fall to the floor. You can use that as a cue. If you have trouble breathing into your belly, it can sometimes be easier to breathe in that position.
Yeah.
Child's pose is underrated.
I love it.
It's quote unquote an easy stretch sometimes. It's a good recovery stretch, but underrated. People should be doing more child's pose.
For sure.
All right. That was tip number 2 out of 5. Let's do tip number 3. What is it?
It is doing it throughout the day. So this is simple, but that doesn't make it easy because a lot of people, their top of mind is not, how can I relax my pelvic floor right now, right? Like I'm working, I'm driving, I'm stressed. I always give the example when I'm driving in my car and I have my internalized road rage, my body is so tense and like lopsided. I'm like leaning on the window. My pelvic floor is tight as heck because I can feel my abs clenching and my like right oblique is like off balance with my left. And in those moments, when I do notice it, I just breathe a little bit and I do some diaphragmatic breaths. I relax my pelvic floor. You can do the same thing at work. Like I'm super tense right now. I'm like in a stressful meeting. Let me just get 5 breaths in. So I tell all my patients, you can't really overdo diaphragmatic breathing or relaxation of the pelvic floor. Just do it when it comes to mind. So that will start to build like the throughout the day routine a little bit more.
Enough said.
Slay.
Literally, I got this tip from my therapist because I said I need help with stress management. She was like, girl, you already preached diaphragmatic breathing. You need to do it throughout the day. Anytime you're clocking in with yourself and you're like, whoa, I'm feeling tense, take a second and do 5 diaphragmatic breaths.
Heck yeah.
Minimum.
Next.
All right. Our next tip is tip number 4. It's going to be unclench. And what do we mean by unclench? We mean check out your butt cheeks. You're waiting to cross the street. You're waiting for the light to turn green so you can walk across the crosswalk. You're probably clenching the crap out of your butt cheeks for no reason. For me, it's when I do my dishes. I don't know why. It's probably because I hate doing dishes.
Yeah.
Unclench your butt cheeks. Whenever I have someone in the clinic and I'm doing an internal assessment and I have them squeeze their butt cheeks, their pelvic floor automatically squeezes the life out of themselves. That's what's adding to your pelvic floor tension.
Yeah.
So if it's hard for you to relax your pelvic floor and it's hard for you to use these visual cues that we're telling you, really, I just want you to imagine, do it right now, unclench your butt cheeks. What are you clenching for?
And this might be foreshadowing to another minisode, but think about when you are maybe using a vibrator or having some sexy time. Are you clenching to get yourself to climax?
Stop clenching.
Stop clenching because that's tightening your pelvic floor, which makes it harder. So that's another example. I like think of it in that context too.
Yeah. You know when people used to credit card swipe you in
Yep.
middle school?
What?
And you like squeeze your butt cheeks like someone's about to credit card swipe you? Everyone needs to stop being worried about getting their credit card swiped.
Stop being worried about getting your credit card
Let it all hang out. Let it all hang out.
Perfect example.
Other than butt cheek clenching, there's also the stomach clenching. We've talked about it before. Tumblr era, skinny girl era. We were all at some point sucking the crap out of our stomachs inside of our bellies because we were so afraid to have normal looking bodies.
Yeah.
We all have to look like the magazine or the girl on Instagram or whatever that's been probably face-tuned and edited 1,000 times before it's reached the surface.
Yeah.
So let your belly hang out, breathe into the belly, let it relax.
Heck yeah. Unclench and relax, everyone. All right, last tip here is going to be implementing some kind of mindfulness practice. This looks different for everyone. Some people like a straight up silent meditation. Some people like journaling. Some people like yoga. Some people like listening to sounds while they sleep. whatever it is for you, that's just going to help your body get into parasympathetic rest and digest mode in general, which is going to help relax that pelvic floor.
This doesn't even have to be associated with pelvic floor or concentrating on, I need to relax my pelvic floor. This is good for, in general, just to relax your mind body. I need to honestly listen to this and find a good mindfulness routine that works for me, because I think it's one of the hardest things to do.
It is. And it's because it is different for everyone. So just find what works for you.
Yeah. So true.
All right. We should end this 10-minute tip while we're ahead.
Yeah, we should.
All right, everyone. Join us next week for our next mini-sode. And if you're loving these, please leave us a rating. They help us out so much.
We're having a sexy episode come up soon, so make sure you tune in for next week.
All right. Bye, pelvic freaks.
Good.